TGIF, welcome to our Q&A Friday. How you guys doing? What's going on? Welcome to the Daily Voiceover Huddle. I am your host, Bill DeWeese, professional voiceover talent, voiceover coach, voiceover demo producer, author. This is my second voiceover book, my most recent, Get Paid Using Your Voice, available now. As a matter of fact, there's a link below in the description. You can download the digital copy right now for less than $10. And then also you can get the audio book I recorded to go with it if you want that way. So, or if you want the physical copy from Amazon, that same link you can get to all of those places from there. So check that out. Well, my purpose in being here is to help you make money and to make more money in voiceover. The strategies that I share, the techniques, the tips, everything that I share is to help you make more money in voiceover. So that's what this is all about. Fridays I set aside for questions. It's Q&A. And so let me know. I just saw TOS. Do I have her use a TOS? What's a TOS? I should know that term. Why is it not clicking with me? TOS. Let me know that, Lemuel, so I know what I'm talking about when I get to you there. Take your questions, upload them into the live chat. I'll get to as many as I can. I am a working voiceover talent, so I have limited time in the morning, but the time I have is yours this morning, so I'll answer to the best of my ability, and I'll get through as many as I can. How's that for a deal? Just make sure that you post in the live chat, and let's do that right now. Emma, congrats to you. Once again, you are first this morning from Huntington Beach. Rob, a very close second. I mean, you guys, it's like you came in at the same time. Emma was just above you. So, I mean, the competition's getting fierce. It is getting fierce. And let's see here. Nephi in Knoxville, good morning. Morgan, what's up in Green Lane, Pennsylvania? Rebecca says, morning, friends, from Rebecca on vacation. Good for you, Rebecca. In Orlando, going to do some retail therapy today. I just picked up a new client in Orlando yesterday. Excuse me. Love Orlando. One of the greatest memories of my life was taking our family there. I remember Alex was 2 years old at the time, which means Tyler, my oldest son, was like 4. Mallory was like, 9 or 10. And man, what a great magical place. Rusty in the UP of Michigan, John in Rhinebeck. We got Dave in New York City. We've got Scotty. I'll take a top 10 check in maybe. Corey in Whitehall, Wisconsin. Milwaukee Brewers #1. How are the Reds doing? I'm not sure if you're trying to be cruel, Corey, but yeah, they're not doing quite as well as Milwaukee. As you're probably aware, their game with the Brewers was canceled yesterday due to rain, rescheduled for later in August. It was our chance to tie up that series, but it's early. It's early in the season. GS, what's up in Washington? Mary Winkle, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you. They're in Atlantic City, New York area. Ethan, good morning to you in rainy Toronto. Oh, New Jersey. Yeah, I was going to say Atlantic City. Yeah, New Jersey. All right, gotcha, Mary. Rick in Des Moines. We've got John in Denver. Okay. Question about the big voiceover retreat that I'm planning. So right now it's just to save the date. No, I don't have all the details for you. I will share those with you. If you're not on my email list and you want to make sure you get that information, just drop an email to training@billdeweese.com and you can put in the subject, put me on your email list, because that's how I communicate all of these kind of things. So make sure you do that. But right now, here's what I know. July 13th and 14th, that's a Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is going to be wide open to the general public, and it's going to be an all-day event. In the morning, we'll be doing a session on Upwork. And then after that, a session on Fiverr. And in the afternoon, I'll be teaching. I'm sure I'll be doing performance, marketing, all the fun stuff. So we'll be covering a lot of bases on Saturday. Sunday is going to be it's reserved for 10 people only, where you're going to come to my house, my home studio. I'm going to put you here in this seat in front of this microphone, and we're going to record some stuff together. And it's going to be one-on-one coaching, and you're going to walk away with some recordings that day. And so that's going to be reserved for 10 people. So it's going to be a first come, first served basis on that. That information will be coming. And again, make sure you're on the email list so that you get that information, training@billdeweese.com. All right, Ralph, what's going on in Fresno? Alex, good morning. Lemuel in Fort Wayne, Melissa, San Diego. Chuck is in Tampa. What's going on? Let's see. Let me back up here. The stream is moving faster than I'm talking. Merrill in northern New Jersey, you have a blessed weekend as well. Dong Chow, good morning to you in Plano, Texas. Happy Friday. Uh, Dong Chow says, thank you for coaching me the other day. The reason she says that, Dong Chow is in my voiceover blueprint. And so we have daily coaching / mentoring sessions. In addition to the on access video training, we do something live every weekday, sometimes more than once a day. And on Wednesday, I was doing a session, and Dong Chow had, I give my students a chance to read and to get feedback. And so, good job for you, Dong Chow. Phil in Tokyo, rewatching all the training I have already gotten. Fantastic. We've got Shawan in sunny Lexington, South Carolina. Do we need to be a part of the voiceover blueprint in order to schedule a session with Alex DeWeese to set up our VO DAW FX rack? No, you do not. You can reach Alex at anybody can do this. Alex@BillDeWeese.com. Alex@BillDeWeese.com. We've got Alex Jensen in Utah. Last week in the Popping Peas video, you touched your mic, but no sound came through. My mic is noisy when I touch it. Is the difference in software or hardware? I don't recall touching my mic. Did I touch my mic? If I touch it loud enough, I'm sure noise does come through. But it could be a static electricity kind of thing. You know, I'm not sure what that might be, but it might be static. Hey, Mary, when submitting an additional voice 123, do you put anything in the additional proposal detail section? And if so, how much detail do you include? I do. I put my philosophy when it comes to communication, whether it's emails or proposals on these platforms, is less is more. I thank them for listening to the audition. If in addition, the only other thing I typically put would be if I may say, for instance, I have extensive experience, provide fast turnaround. That's something I do include usually as well. And then also, but here's the big thing, is if they have particular things that they say like, we need a 2-day turnaround. It needs to be finished, this date. You need to have the ability to do Zoom or Source Connect or whatever. Make sure that you address the things that they specifically bring up. That's probably the most important thing. But the thing is, most clients, they're not, they're listening to demos. Demos are like this much of it. Your proposal is about that much of it. They care what you sound like. They're not going through 100 different auditions and carefully reading all those proposals. I can guarantee you that. Theo says, happy Friday from downtown Chicago. No questions, but wishing everyone a glorious weekend. And to you as well, Theo. Also, I had a question come in earlier this week I wanted to share. This comes from Dave Curry. And Dave is concerned about scripts for his that he wants to create himself, demos, and for audiobook narration, also for commercials. And he's concerned about just taking work that exists and transcribing it, existing commercials, existing audiobooks. Is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Fair use. You're just using a small sample for demonstration purposes only. It's standard practice. In all my years of doing this, that's what I do. It's what my students do. I've never known of anyone to ever have any issue with it. But the key is, it's just you're using a sample. It's a sample for demonstration purposes only. Now, if you're taking somebody's stuff and making recordings and then trying to sell the recordings of that would be different. Terry in Falston, Maryland, Jason in Kearney, Nebraska. What was the headshot AI app you suggested? Yeah, yesterday I was talking about that. I think it's C. Hold on. Let's see here if I can find it real quick. It starts with a C. It's 3 letters. It's like not CIA, but CLA or CI. Is that right? CL. I don't know. Let me just take a quick scroll through here. I don't want to take too much time. If you Google AI headshot, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's GIO. Geo. If you look on there right there, you see that the black icon, Geo. That's it. Dale in Atlanta. Professor Tracy, what's up in Rochester, Minnesota? Rusty, when did you take the fam to Orlando? Did you go to the Magic Kingdom? I worked there from 92 to 94. It would have been, in that time frame because let's see, Tyler was born in 90. Alex was born in 92. He was 2 years old. So it would have been 94. Yeah. Rusty may have seen you there. I don't know. Mary, I've been here just under a different Gmail account. Mary from Macy. Oh, okay, Mary Winkle. Now I know who you are. Okay. You are just incognito. That's all. Oh, let's see here. Amanda, good morning from the most searched town in Zillow, Westchester, Pennsylvania. Is it really? I did not know that. Amanda says, I'm still having a significant issue with sound floor. Mine is about negative 46 untreated. Could it be interference between my cables? And if so, will ferrite filter work? Well, I don't know if it's your cables or not. Usually it's the kind of thing, if it's like a hum, you'll be able to tell it's some sort of electronic interference. But negative 46 is not awful. Oftentimes, it depends on what kind of noise you're getting. Oftentimes, when you're at that level, you just have another 14 or so dB to go to hit the magic minus 60, which is, it's not written in stone, but that's about where you need to be. But oftentimes when you're where you're at, again, unless the noise is like, it's interesting because noise software deals with different noises differently. Some stuff like an NS1 plugin from Waves, it's amazing how effective. I think it's personally, I've used them all, and I think it's the most effective. And so you might want to try that. Oftentimes that's an easy fix. So try that one out. Scotty, what to do today? Studio work or watch the Masters? Oh, Scotty, I know. I didn't watch any of it yesterday. The Masters tournament down in Georgia is happening. Augusta, Georgia is happening this week. The most beautiful course in all of golf. That place is just, I've never been there personally. I've only seen it on CBS, but it's crazy beautiful. If you just want to watch to see the flowers and the grass, it's unbelievable. But that's going on this week. Monica in Poland, you have a sunny day as well. Thank you. Oh, terms of service, TOS. That's where. Do I have terms of service? No. Basically my billing is net 30. Not that everybody pays attention to that, especially the bigger companies. It's what's funny is the bigger companies, typically the major brands take longer to pay. Their accounting departments, they're trying to squeeze as much interest out of their cash flow as they can before they pay bills, I reckon. Wally, good morning. Mikhail, good morning. Bill and everyone from Maine. I hope it's drier for you all than here. Not so much here, anyhow, in the Chicago area. Pretty soggy. Let's see here. Thank you for being the push and the knowledge I needed to really start the one career I always wanted in my life. Well, thank you for the kind remarks. And yeah, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad this is working for you. Hello from Tasmania, Australia, home of the Tasmanian devil, I would imagine. At what point in the process do you normalize the audio? It's the last thing you do. I've been reducing the background noise and normalizing, but I've seen conflicting advice. Typically, normalizing is the last thing that I do. I don't even need to normalize. My audio levels are set so well that my waves, the waves aren't peaking above -3 that often. And when they do, usually if you look like a 3-minute recording I make, you might find 1 or 2 audio waves that popped it set up above -3 dB. So I just zoom in, I highlight that wave, and I pull it down. And then I don't mess with normalizing. By the way, the whole idea of normalizing among most clients wouldn't even know what that term means. So it's funny because it's become like this. Most people who are newer to voiceover think it's like some religious acknowledgement, ceremony that you have to do over your audio, or it will be rejected. You should your audio should be peaking at about -3 dB when you're done. That's good practice. But most clients, I'm not saying every client, but most clients aren't like going in there studying it with a microscope to make sure that everything's, you know. Adam, good morning from Western Massachusetts. Is there still a market for very deep voices in this industry? Oh, Adam, yeah, there's markets for all voices. And that's the beautiful thing. It really doesn't matter. It used to be, back like in the 60s, you had to be a guy and you had to have a deep voice. Nowadays, it doesn't deep, high, male, female, whatever. It doesn't ethnicity, none of that matters. People are looking for all kinds what they're looking for is genuineness. They don't want contrived deep voices unless you're doing an ironic type of, announcer read, kind of tongue in cheek. But other than that, it really doesn't matter. Roy says, "Good morning. I got your book a couple of days ago from Amazon. I'm getting ready to start VO and wanted to know if single member LLC or S Corp is the way to go." Well, Roy, I don't give accounting advice because there's variables to consider, and I'm not an accountant. I can tell you that I'm an S corp, but that doesn't mean your best bet is an S corp. Maybe an LLC is right. Again, there's a number of variables, and it will vary from state to state and from person to person, your income, all that kind of stuff. So, talk to a qualified accountant to make sure that you get set up properly. MG in North Carolina, happy Friday. Okay, let's do one more. Do you ever get loud clicks in the middle of vowel sounds, visible in waveform view and doesn't happen consistently? Can't figure out what causes it. It's not a lip smack. I get visible, loud clicks in the middle of all kinds of sounds. Not all the time, but occasionally, for reasons I can't explain. These weird, we're as human beings, there's a lot of intricacy that's going on. Throat, mouth, and sometimes we don't know where they come from. And so I have to go into it with the spectral view and do some surgery on it. Okay, let's do one more. Mikhail, a question regarding live sessions. By the way, did a big live session yesterday that I streamed for my blueprint students. They got to see the whole process. There was 2 clients, 1 engineer. I was doing a thing for like the golf industry in the state of Iowa. Here's the question: do we have them up on video, Zoom, Google Meets, and it can be on anything. I do some on Zoom. I've got one scheduled coming up next week in Spain that we're going to do on Google Meets. I had a session earlier. I had a session yesterday or day before with a client in Spain, and we did that over some platform I think it's called Connection. I'd never heard of it before, but as a service they had, and they sent me a link. So you could use 2 tin cans on a string, I suppose. But seriously though, a phone patch can be anything. And they record on if they're using like something like a Source Connect, they typically record on their end. If you're using Zoom or Skype or something that's less than full studio quality, you record it on your end. All right, guys. I think that's all the questions I have time for now. Again, as a working voiceover talent, I got to get to work here. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend, and go into the links below in the description of this video to get the links to my training resources, including this book. Like I said, you can download the digital copy for less than $10. That's on there, and my blueprint, all that's on there. So check it out. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.